Hey, what's up, guys? Boxing with B.
Ain't rough without the paycheck.
So this past weekend, we saw Benavidez, who just got his WBC super
Belt back.
middleweight title, went to defend it and lost it on the scale.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. He knew he had a fight. He knew what's coming up. He's a great fighter. I don't know what happened.
Do you think the quarantine is an excuse?
It shouldn't be because, you have to train. You have to stop eating certain foods and you have to train. Mostly him. He was the world champion.
Yeah.
Mick
Conlan, we saw. So we're talking about all the fights that happened, but there was fights on all different channels. So don't ask me where they were because I forgot. But
everything.
Mick Conlan, he also stepped back into the ring, but you weren't very impressed by him. He went the 10 rounds, and then in the 10th, he got that stoppage. He got a TKO win.
Another headshot rings in.
It wasn't too much. It wasn't very impressive.
The way they were pushing him, I thought he was going to be this guy he was supposed to knock out, which everybody was waiting for, and it didn't happen towards the end. This guy was tough. He was a tough guy. You can't. He was awkward.
Yeah.
The guy should have studied a little bit more to make him look better, because he wants to make. He's going up. If you would have knocked him out, oh yeah, he's ready. He's going, but he did it.
Yeah. I mean, he got that knockout, but it was in the 10th.
It was a stoppage.
Yeah. So I had tweeted. So if you don't already, live tweet with me, make sure you live tweet with me anytime there's a fight on. I'm on there. I'll respond to you right then and there. But I actually posted, that fight was all right. That's what I said. Because it was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't
too boring.
It wasn't spectacular.
No, but it was all right. It was enough to not make you change the channel, right?
Correct.
So I tweeted, that fight was all right. And I actually had someone reply on there, and they actually said, yeah, it was at Chuck D055, right?
Yeah.
He put, yeah, all right is a good descriptive word for Conlan. They have to step him up a bit to see if he's worth all the promotion and hype. My guess is he will fall way short. What do you think?
It's too early to tell. I don't know, because that could have just been a bad fight for him.
Yeah.
Back to the training.
Yeah.
Goes and looks at it, watches the film, sees his mistake, corrects him. That's why it's called boxing. You go and you correct for your mistakes.
Yeah.
So I won't call it that yet until maybe when I see him fight the top 20. I can't say the top 10 because that'll be strong. The top 20, we'll see.
Well, after that, we saw Frampton back in the ring, and Frampton fought against Trainer. Okay, so Trainer put on a good performance against Frampton.
Yes, he did, but don't count out Frampton.
No, Frampton still took that win, but what I thought was cool too, like something to point out, is when they first announced him into the ring and Frampton was announced, Trainer applauded him, coming in, and it wasn't even like let's egg him on or anything. It was like they announced Frampton, he clapped in his corner too. When do you see that?
Not a lot, but right now with the COVID and everything, everybody's glad to be back, working basically.
Yeah.
Frampton, and the other guy gives him credit. They were both there.
Yeah. Then on another channel, Cecilia Brækhus, I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. I never say it right, but she, you know her, the undisputed female, I think welterweight. Yeah, female welterweight champion.
Yeah.
Lost. And she had Abel Sanchez.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, she lost, and it was her first loss in her pro career.
Maybe she took the other girl. This COVID is affecting everybody. Everybody's taking other people lightly.
Yeah.
Could have happened there. Could have happened if the other girl's really good.
Yeah.
And taking it.
Yeah.
You never know, but that's the only thing, because Abel is a good trainer. My boy Triple G, I loved him when he was with Abel, because a lot has changed about him, but I don't know what to say. Abel's good. With this COVID, I don't know.
But you know what? She lost. So she lost her belts. She's no longer the undisputed, but she did have, I think she fought 11 fights. But
you know what? She's undisputed champion. It doesn't matter. She has a little clause right there that says, I bet you that says.
But she's hinting at retirement.
Huh? She was thinking about retirement.
She's hinting at it like.
Well, they were hinting at it because they have their loss. They've never lost before. A lot of people don't like that.
I guess so.
And when they sit down, they review the tape, and they go, I'm not going to go out that way. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out with my titles.
True. Well, you said the whole controversial one. One that was controversial is Rolando Romero. He fought against Jackson Madrimov, okay?
Yeah.
Madrimov is one of Robert's guys. So I didn't know too much about Madrimov, but going into this, it was, again, one of those where I had heard he was one of Robert's fighters. So I was like,
you don't count him out.
He's going to put on a great performance against Rolando, because Rolando is one that's well known in the media world, I think.
Yeah.
And so this kid, he went out there. They were fighting for the interim WBA title. And it was, Martinez should have won that fight, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
But at the end, they announced it for Rolando. And there's a whole bunch of things that came up about that. People were upset. Biggest robbery of the night, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was upsetting. It caused Martinez to lose his O. These two were both undefeated fighters going into this fight. I think he's 19-0, and now he's 19-1. But Rollies came out and, he took that win. He was all proud of it. And then I actually saw a video that ES News released, and Robert comes out and says that, the trainer that he sent out there to go and be in that corner asked for an anti-doping test before the fight.
Yeah.
And that they said, "Oh, we don't have that for that fight. We're not going to give that one for that fight."
They shouldn't have fought then.
And then Robert was like, what kind of organization or, who's going to throw a fight out there without testing them, especially when it's for a title?
Yes.
And it makes sense.
That was a red flag right there.
Yeah.
They should have pulled out and said, no way. If it's for a title fight, this is the guy's reputation. He's undefeated.
Yeah.
He's going for a belt to become champion. You have to fight clean. Fight fair.
Yeah.
Just like when Pacquiao was fighting, Mayweather. All his fights
He was okay with the test.
Olympic testing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's so different about, that's a manager. I think Rolly's with them, right? At the money team.
Yeah, he's with the money team. And now that's why it's causing a lot of backlash on his end too. Like, Mayweather, how much you pay them?
Mayweather didn't pay nothing. It's just his name. He's a great, promoter. He was a great fighter. To me, in my generation, I got to see the greatest of all time. Before my dad's was Ali, and all those other ones, Finito Lopez and all those other guys.
Yeah.
But the one I got to see a little bit of Muhammad Ali, but I was younger. But I got to see Mayweather from the start
Me too.
to the finish.
Well, not
from
very,
the start
very start,
with Chicanito Hernandez taking that WBC all the way to the end where he fought McGregor from point A to point B. To me, he was the greatest because he retired undefeated. Nobody beat Mayweather.
Yeah. Well, as far as this fight though.
Yeah.
This fight.
So there's controversy that he was under Rolly's under him. I think they should have stepped down and said, you know what? Something's wrong here. There's a red flag. They don't want a drug test? No. Let's drug test because you never know who might be illegal. Period. There's a lot of stuff, that helps fighters. And who knows? I've seen it in boxing a lot.
Well, that was the controversy this weekend. And
hopefully there's an investigation on this. And if it was foul play.
Supposedly there is.
So if they find foul play and everything like that, no contest and fight again.
One comment that I did like too that Robert pointed out is that he said, if the WBA doesn't, if say that, what did he say? He said something like, if the WBA is going to allow judging like this and, the test to not be done, then they're going to lose credibility.
Maybe Adelaide Bird works with them. Could be.
Man, you're never going to let that one go.
Hell no. They're one of the greatest fights of all time. And here's this, excuse my language, I'm not going to say it. This lady that's supposed to have experience judging, and it's the worst ever. And then when they confront, she starts crying. Why is she crying? If she saw what she saw, she should back up her words.
That's true.
You got paid. Yeah, damn, that was it.
Madrimov, I think I'm saying that. Madrimov versus Walker. All right, we saw that one where Madrimov knocked down Walker. Not even knocked down, knocked out Walker.
And
okay?
the referee.
And the referee says it's not that. It's
that
a knockdown. He gets his 5 minutes because the shoulder went into push him down.
That was a disgrace. Disgrace referee. I don't know where in the hell this guy went to.
But you know what? That's not only like, maybe he was favoring. That's dangerous for that fighter. He got back up.
Ray Corona, this guy needs some lessons in refereeing. You're a great referee. Give him a call because that guy was an idiot. Oh, it was a great punch, but the punch might have dropped him, but I thought it was the shoulder that dropped him. He is acknowledging that it was a punch.
Yeah, but he said that if the shoulder wasn't there, then, maybe he would have
How in the hell it was a fall through? Yeah, I see. I know what you're saying. It was a fall through. It was boom.
Yeah.
Going through.
Yeah.
And the guy was going out. The guy was off balance, but because he threw a power shot. He was out. Everybody, Joe Diaz was yelling, he was out.
Joel,
he was out. But the referee just somehow says no.
He said, give him his 5 minutes. He gets 5 minutes. And then he got back up, continued the fight. So that was in like the 9th. And then in the 12th, I think it was the 12th. Madrimov dropped Walker again. This time it was counted as a knockdown.
There was too many cameras. This time it was a clean shot.
What do you mean too many cameras?
I'm just saying too many people looking at it was a clean shot. It was no controversy. There's no shoulders, no nothing.
That first one shouldn't have been any controversy
But,
either. That one was on point.
Yeah.
That one was too
obvious. It was a knockout.
He couldn't even get up.
It was a knockout. He didn't get up. It was counted. He was knocked out.
That was shocking.
Yeah.
It was definitely shocking, but at least at the end, Madrimov came out with the win. It should have been a KO win.
Yeah.
But at the,
But you know what? That referee needs to get stopped. He needs to get his license revoked and everything because God forbid he gets into a fight where the guy's really injured and he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
All right?
That's what I was saying too, is that Walker...
Because he was knocked out and let him get back up to fight again.
Walker was seriously injured because he couldn't get up. And even when he came back into the ring, he rolled around a little bit trying to gain consciousness. Yeah. The 5 minutes, I mean, he did well. He has a good enough chin to come back and not get knocked out again.
That fighter's a good fighter. Changed his life around from a prison person.
He learned how to fight there, yeah.
And then, he changed his life. He became a professional fighter.
Like Hopkins.
A prize fighter. Yes, like Hopkins. But Hopkins became a legend. But you never know. This kid's still young. He could still turn. He could still be the legend that we don't know about.
Yeah, well, this upcoming weekend, Sean Porter is going to be stepping back in the ring. And the last time Sean Porter was in the ring was in L.A. against Errol Spence Jr.
One of the greatest fights
He put a great performance against him. And the only thing that really sealed it was that he got dropped.
He got dropped
by Errol Spence.
Yep. Got careless and he got dropped.
So now he's going to be stepping back into the ring in Los Angeles at the Microsoft Theater against Formella. And Formella is a German fighter, right? He's undefeated. He's 33 years old and he made his pro debut in 2014.
Wow.
I got Sean Porter on
Of
this
course
one.
I got Sean Porter.
An undefeated record to me will mean
it's dangerous. He'll be a dangerous fighter.
It'll mean a great performance, a great fight that we watch.
Yes.
But Sean Porter, if he comes with that same mindset of I got a lot to prove because he's already a notable name.
He is.
So I don't think he'll have that mindset of
never count out these European fighters. There was a guy named
I'm not saying that.
Prince Nassim Hamed. That was great.
Yeah.
Sergio Martinez that became a legend. Sergio Martinez.
Yes, I know who he is, but you said European?
Yeah, he went from there. No one gave him a shot. He went to Spain. He fought and got all the fights out there and then came here to prove himself. Winky Wright, American fighter that came back here. Fought Fernando Vargas. To me, he had beaten Fernando Vargas. But they gave it to Fernando because it was a fight before the fight where he got to go fight Trinidad. And then Winky Wright made a lot of stuff. So don't count these fighters out. We don't know.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Sean Porter, if Sean Porter goes into this fight like he did with Errol Spence, because with Errol Spence, he felt like, yeah, I'm a notable name, but I got a lot to prove because Errol Spence already has the audience won.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Everybody thought, even myself thought that Sean Porter was going to get knocked out because of what happened with Thurman.
That's why I'm saying that this fight, Sean Porter has to come in with that same mindset.
This is the only thing about Sean Porter.
What?
When he fights a better fighter, a top fighter, his glory comes out.
Well, that's why I hope he has that mindset. I hope that he's not like, this is a German fighter, He might take it as a tune-up fight. That's why. Why would you? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Fighters do that. I've seen a lot of, not stupid fighters, but I've seen a lot of fighters come in thinking it's going to be a tune-up fight. Turns out it's a fight that changes their life. A good example that I got to see, that everybody loved when he was coming up, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. was a tune-up fight, Frankie Randall. None of us knew. It was not even pay-per-view. None of us knew who this Frankie Randall was, and he shocked the world.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying, is that I don't want Sean Porter to come into this fight and overlook this guy. Yeah, on paper, it would be, he's undefeated. He has that I'm going to take his away. If he comes in with that mindset, then it could be a little rocky. But if he comes in with the mindset of how he entered LA the last time he stepped foot in that ring, we'll see a great performance.
I think so too, but I think it's different for him this time. I think he's not fighting a legend that I think that Errol Spence is going to be.
Okay, so who do you think is going to take this?
I have no idea who the other guy is, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
So I'm not going to count. I can't say nothing. So I'll leave Sean Porter as winning, but I have no idea why I feel this guy is going to
not beat undefeated?
Not beat him, but prove a point that he belongs undefeated.
Well, breaking news today that we saw, Canelo has now stepped up to fight for the WBC super middleweight title that Benavidez left because he didn't make weight.
Yeah, so
now it's vacated.
So he doesn't want
now
to fight
he's going to be
Benavidez.
fighting this
That's
other
why
guy
that has lost
for it
to
instead of fighting Benavidez.
that has lost to the European champion or the England champion.
Yeah, I don't even know how to say his name, honestly. But he already has losses to Anthony Durrell.
Yeah.
He lost
Well,
to...
Anthony Durrell's great. So.
But he lost to Durrell, okay?
Yeah.
He's stepping into the ring to fight Canelo now.
Canelo.
So
yeah,
even the article I read even said, like, you know...
He should be in the Canelo fight.
No. Just that this resume seems like Canelo will just be able to walk through him. He shouldn't have a problem with it.
You know what, Canelo? If you want to fight guys that you could beat, why don't you fight that Joe Smith Jr., the guy that fought Bivol and all that, and the guy that had the guy that knocked out Hopkins out of the ring for the Hopkins last fight. Hopkins thought he was going to be able to beat this kid that was a construction worker, and he beat the guy from Europe that knocked out Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Andre
Fonfara.
He beat Fonfara for the belt. And I thought Fonfara was going to knock him out because I didn't know who this guy. They said he was a construction worker, and he came and beat him. And he beat Hopkins and stuff. He's at that weight class. He wants a title shot again. He held the WBC International. There you go, Canelo. Try that guy. You know, you want to handpick. There's a handpicked fighter that knows how to fight good. I think he might beat him, but I think Joe might surprise him.
Billy Joe Saunders even came out and said, like a Canelo, cherry picker.
Yep, cherry picker. I'll give him that. He is. He is a cherry picker. If he wants to be at that weight class, why don't he says, you know what? Let's fight Bivol. Almost my age, young guy, young lion, undefeated too. Let's do it.
He won't.
You know? But you know what? He can't wait for this guy to turn on because he's not old. He's as old as him. So, that's how much I respect about Canelo. He did a lot when in the beginning. I liked him, but after that,
Hollywood.
Yeah, all that, all that Hollywood stuff and all that. He ain't shit.
Dang.
He's like, to me, I grew up following the greatest Mexican fighters of all time. Him is a disappointment to me. Yeah, he represents Mexico. I love that he does. He represents his people, but cherry picks.
And clenbuterol.
I don't like it. Hopefully Canelo fights a young guy, Bivol, Joe Smith, these other guys, these young guys, the other belt holders. Oh, fight Benavidez next.
He had his chance.
If you get the WBC, fight him. Benavidez could get back in shape. Fight Benavidez. Fight Jamal Charlo, Chingao, a younger, lower class weight. But no, he won't. He'll pick I'm not gonna say it because I love Errol Spence, but he'll fight like I want to fight Errol Spence or something like that, knowing that he's a different weight class that he could walk over. He'll pick Leo Santa Cruz before anything.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. He will not pick a guy his weight class that's a stardom.
He'll pick an old man that's above his weight class to make it look like
a young guy that doesn't weigh nothing. At least my boy beat him. The greatest of all time. Lights out.